I took these tips and passed them off as my own, becoming the playground sexual Yoda. I would vastly exaggerate my own experiences and give counsel to girls my own age and older. One of my biggest regrets is that I found childhood and adolescence such a humiliating place to be. When I read my teenage diaries now, I recognize how much I was lying to the page because I was so embarrassed about how young I was. I speak wearily of sex, like I'm bored of it, when I hadn't even been touched. I note the number of calories and cigarettes I consumed that day like a jaded divorcee. I wished away my life, unaware I was the proprietor of a material more valuable than gold. Youth. I wanted no part in it for my entire childhood. I think my obsession with being an agony aunt perhaps stemmed from this desire. I wanted to be the well-lived woman handing out advice, rather than the galumphing schoolgirl lying on her bed reading it. In adulthood, I continued to be drawn to a certain type of female advice giver. I wanted women in black cashmere to tell me, in no uncertain terms, how to live my life. What recipes to make, what man to date, what haircut to try. This is one of the reasons that Nora Ephron is my favourite writer and eternal life guru. The advice in her journalism and personal essays is full of militant specifics. Don't spend too much on a handbag, don't eat egg whites on their own, add more butter to the pan and more bath oil to your tub. I do not want smiley lifestyle vloggers with very white teeth and very sculpted faces to begin a video with, "Hey guys," before telling me to try these sweet potato brownies that can be made non-vegan if that's what you like. I don't want that at all. What I want is an imperious dame to tell me to get my shit together. I want a clever, funny, no fucks left to give woman to give me a list of seemingly random rules to make my life better. More efficient, easier, and above all, more pleasurable. I want her to tell me that I'm a fool if I don't follow these rules. This is something I find so difficult to receive from men, but give me a wise older woman in statement earrings telling me what she's learnt, and I'll follow her to the ends of the earth. If you can't find me at a wedding, and I'm nowhere to be seen by the cheese board or the free bar, chances are I'm sitting at the feet of a grandmother or great-aunt, engulfed in Shalimar perfume and stories of lost love. There is only one man whose life advice I've ever sought out. During the Annus Horribilis, on one of my many sleepless nights, I wrote to Nick Cave. He writes a newsletter, The Red Hand Files, in which his fans write into him, and he answers in the capacity of a mystical and poetic agony uncle. Even during my years as an avid problem page fan, I'd never actually written into a stranger and asked for help. But there I was, sometime in between midnight and dawn, typing away on my bed in the dark, asking Nick Cave to help me. I won't say what I asked because it's too mortifying. And he never replied, but that didn't matter. What I learned from sharing my most private pain with a semi-professional problem solver was that the mere act of asking for help was in itself healing. It was as if I had crept down to the docks under the cover of darkness and floated a message out in a bottle, imagining how it may be received. By writing it, I was acknowledging that someone might care about me, that they'd be able to say the right thing without knowing me, because I was feeling something other people had felt, and therefore I wasn't, as I'd suspected, the loneliest and strangest woman in the world. Years ago, I'd quite literally begged for an advice column at another magazine, which I won't reveal, except to say it was Vogue, but had been rebuffed. This was definitely for the best, as I recognise now it's hard enough to receive advice from a 30-something, let alone a 20-something. But, age 31, I managed to persuade my wonderful style editor that this would be the right medium for me. A place where I could speak intimately to the reader without necessarily speaking intimately about myself. Where I could give an opinion on people's emotions rather than an opinion on the state of the world. In the first decade of my professional writing life, I'd written about all my fuck-ups, which I think is good training for an agony aunt. I couldn't and wouldn't claim to be a sage or an expert, or even a person who made the right decisions. I would just be a person who'd made mistakes and was